Awesome.
I knew I couldn't trust him. Moose,
okay.
come, I have a treat.
I should have thought about that. Like, I have the kitty door open, but I have the kitties locked up in there, so it's not like he's gonna meet the shy cat.
God.
That's okay. Now it's doggy proof.
So that was another thing. So when I got here and you were kind of like, let Moose out, like let him go around. Like it's really nice where you're not like, oh, okay, he goes straight to this room, and you're very welcoming and warm with them. Thanks. So not only with the dogs, with us too. So it's really nice.
Yeah, I really, really like that you had a specific idea in your mind what you want him to, how you want him to look like.
Yeah.
And then we talked about all the details, like how long you want the body and how long you want the head and what kind of styles.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, Moose was sniffing around, enjoying the environment.
No,
releasing some energy.
I did a lot of research myself, but even so, like, you can go to a groomer and they can do whatever they want. So, and I was just like, please, like, I just hope he doesn't, like, come home and doesn't look like my puppy anymore. So I knew, I looked and I was like, okay, this is how I want the tail, this is how I want his ears, this is how I want everything. And sometimes, like, my husband will tell you, like, oh, she talks so much and she's so like on top of it, like, she just like, I want to have a say in everything, and I'm just like, just do it this way, and he's like, they know, and I'm like, well, just in case. But you were really patient and you listened, and you gave me the time to just rant about what I wanted and what I didn't want.
Actually,
so
really nice. I was enjoying every single word, because the more detail I get, the more I'm going to be able to do what you really want. Because in case someone just tells me, make it short, or just do a puppy cut, there are hundreds of ways to do a puppy cut, and a little bit longer ears, a little bit shorter ears, a little bit floofier around the muzzle, or a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
And I need to guess what the doggy owner wants.
And it's hard. You would think that you could find, like, the perfect picture, because you said bring pictures. But it's not easy to find a perfect picture, because dogs have different coats. And I also didn't know what type of coat he had, because he still had all his fluffiness. Yes. So I didn't know if he was going to be easy for you to do a specific cut, because I know he was, like, kind of in the middle of curly and straight. So when I found it, I tried to find a picture that matched his coat as much as I could. But I don't really know that dog, obviously, so I'm not really sure what he feels like. So in that's why I brought a few options, and you were like, I think we can do this and this and this, and don't worry, like, and you listened, but you didn't kind of, like, dismiss, because a lot of people tend to dismiss. A lot of times too, when you go to a bigger grooming shop, you don't talk to the groomer.
Yes.
You talk to someone at the front desk. Yeah. And that's not the same.
Exactly.
So that was really nice too. And when I came home, when I went home, I was like, oh my God. But you texted me all the time, and you were like, I didn't expect, which was really nice. You were every, like, 15, 20 minutes, you'd say he's doing great, that he was taking a break. So that's really reassuring, because that was his big first cut. Yeah. And I didn't know how he was going to react. He does well when I take him to do other things, but they do put, like, the thing on his neck, and he does really well. But this was a lot longer than just 5 minutes ear cleaning. So that was also a really good plus for me. And then when I came and picked him up, I almost died. I wanted to cry, because I didn't know. I was so scared to cut his hair off, because I was like, he's not going to be my Moose anymore. Yeah. But he's my Moose. Yeah. He looked so cute. I was so happy. His ears were perfect. I fell in love with his ears more that day. They were like nice and short. They look like little chips.
Oh, so cool. Yeah, it was amazing cooperation, I think, because you kept the coat totally tangled and mat-free. Like, 100%. Absolutely amazing. And I need to tell everyone who's watching this video, like, he is on the top of Moose's coat, like, so much. And that was the reason why I was able to do the haircut without a bath. I mean, with the bath at home, letting him air dry. And then we would get the shaggy looking poodle. Doodle look, not the poodle.
Not the poodle.
Poodle poop. So he was we worked really hard on his coat. Yeah. And that when I was bringing him to you, I was like, he needs to be perfect. I told just went behind
the curtains. I told my husband, I said, we can't have one knot. She said I brush him really well. We need to do a perfect job and get him to her as soon, like, perfectly. So,
hi there, peekaboo.
Yeah, I do his coat overall, especially after his haircut, because it is a little different now. But keeping him, it makes your life easier, my life easier.
Yeah.
And just keeping him combed out perfectly as
and
much as I can.
Yeah. And Moose's life easier as well because it was a little bit of grooming at home for the bath and letting him blow dry after the towel drying. And then it's a little bit, actually it's quite a lot shorter appointment here for the haircut because I don't need to bathe and blow dry the doggy at the same time. Which
takes so much time. I give you so much credit. It's exhausting.
It's quite a physically demanding job. It's not
that's
just
the worst part of it, the bathing and blow drying.
Yeah, it's not like rubbing doggy butts all the time every day, but it's fun. I still wouldn't change it for anything. Yeah, but it's tricky. And with this solution, cooperating this way, I think it was amazing, especially for the first time. Yeah. When the dog is just exploring everything and all kinds of new smells.
As much as I try and get him used to the blow dryer, he doesn't like it. Yeah. So it's another thing where being in an environment like this is maybe more calming. So if you were to whip out the blow dryer, it's not as bad as, I don't know, it's not as stressful. And the other places you can have dogs barking and crying all day and he's right next to him. It's stressful. It has to be stressful. If it's stressful for you to just listen and listen and listen to barking all day, like I can't imagine being a dog crated, stressed out, getting a bath, getting a haircut, getting a blow dry,
listening to
all these dogs barking. It must be like really traumatic.
Yes, it's not like the
So I always tell my husband, I'm like, we had that one time that didn't go so well, but we figured it out.
I'm so glad you did the research because oftentimes Doodle moms get a really, really bad experience, like not just an ugly haircut, if I may put it that way, but a traumatic experience, like blow drying the doggy too much, and then they're gonna hate the blow dryer, or just keeping on them on the table, like in the grooming groups, and they will hate anything around their neck or getting their nails cut too short.
Yes. Or the little burns.
The nicks and
burns. And that was, I mean, I'm overprotective. Just a little. But I read horror stories. Some people like write things and you can't believe it's happening. And and you just never know. You just never know who you're going to get. And if you're lucky, you're lucky. And it worked out. And I'm really happy.
Awesome. Very nice. I'm so glad you shared all that information.
I always tell my husband, I'm like, I am so happy. He says it too. My husband was very happy. He's like, I'm so glad we found Betty. And I was like, me too. It's a good experience for us, a good experience for Moose, and he likes coming here, clearly, because when he just showed up, he was very excited. And he loves you, which is awesome. Which is like, I did want to have one groomer. I didn't want to keep taking him to somewhere that was bigger and had several people. So everyone was managing him, and you don't know who he's getting. You're not meeting that person. You're not having a one-on-one conversation, and you don't know how they act with your dog, how your dog reacts to them. So I did want to have that one person for Moose, and I wanted him that when he had, like you call it, a grooming, it wasn't just grooming, it was like a relaxing spa day. So I was like, I'm really glad we found you for that reason too, because I wanted him to have a bond with his groomer, and that was really important for me.
Awesome. Awesome. So glad we clicked.
Yes, definitely.
It's great. Awesome. Thank you so very much for coming.
No problem. Thank you for asking me to come.
Cool. Let's go find Moose.
Let's go find Moose. See what he got into.
Yes.
He didn't even come. I called him to give him a treat. He didn't show up.
He's like, I have more exciting stuff out there.
Yeah, seriously.
Cool.